Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader. Tuesday night, November the 29th. This is the charts of the day. Quite a few stocks moved today on our board, and let's take a look at some of the highlights. MAGS, Security Systems, with blowout earnings, gapped up to about the 320 range and then exploded, closing at 443, a whopping 67% today, up $1.78. And at this point, looking back at the long-term chart, it appears that the major base has been broken out with a big thrust. And with short-term target up around the 5.5 range just above us, we'll look to see if we can test that over the course of the next few days. And looking at a longer-term chart, you'll see a major declining channel has been broken, and a little bit mini base has been taken out too. So resistance up in this 5.25 and then 6.5 range, 5.5, 6.5 should be tested with longer-term targets up around 8.5, 9 perhaps, as the turnaround may be underway on MAGS. Inhibitix, which we've been following for a couple weeks now after the key breakout with a big breakaway gap and then forming this flag, we recommended it there. We still like it here. It popped, and I showed you last night that the stock was consolidating on a beautiful flag here. Today it popped again up another 230 or 20%. The stock's in play, strong volume, 9.2 million traded today. It looks like the stock may move to at least the mid, maybe high teens short term with a longer term target and maybe a takeout somewhere in the 20s. FIO's looking really darn good, has spiked from 14 to over 40, pulled back sharply recently when the market dropped, held support near this gap, and snapped back. It appears the stock may be forming a beautiful long-term channel that could get this into the 50-55 range on an intermediate basis. My short-term target around 37, intermediate target around 42. STAA, Star Surgical, after breaking out here, running up sharply and then pulling back with a big reversal day here that exploded the stock back up to secondary resistance, forming a big wedge. Over the last 3 or 4 weeks, as you can see, the stock then broke out today, jumping 64 cents or 7%. As volume picked up to 480,000 shares. I'm looking for a move up that takes it towards 11 and then 12 3/4, 13 at the top of the channel. ACHN, forming a beautiful left shoulder, head, and right shoulder symmetrical pattern. Today jumped 41 cents or 7% on 1.5 million and did back off of that level. But if it does get through today's high, so watch your 685 area, we could see the stock running up towards about 8.5 short term. PCYC, a beautiful intermediate to long-term channel. Let's take a look at the pattern here on the long-term channel. It shows that over the last couple, 3 years, we've had a strong rising channel, and I am looking for a potentiality of a double on the stock on a longer-term basis. But let's go back to the daily chart and look at the pattern as it is forming here. Today's pattern was significant in that it's jumped 81 cents or 6%. Volume increased to 1 million shares, and it's moved up across that lateral price resistance. I'm looking for a test of 16 short term, and if that is blown through, we could see the stock up towards 20. ONXX Pharmaceuticals broke out of a beautiful 3-week flag here, which was tested the breakaway point and support, and exploded yesterday. Today up another $1.88. You can see resistance up around the 45 3/4, 46 zone. If taken out, it could lead to a big surge up into the low 50s, maybe higher. KOG, a very, very strong Bakken region junior oil, has had a very big run, for a big reversal day here, triggered this move, and it triggered this rising channel. Looks like a move up towards 9 3/4, 10. Short term maybe had. I'll be looking for that on KOG. Halozyme acting very well. You can see long-term resistance over the last couple of years up in this 905 zone. That's being tested here. Hit 906 today. This double top is being tested as well. It was up 30 cents or 3.5%. Volume increased to 1.5 million. That was the best in about a month and a half, a month or so. But more importantly, if we get through here, we can see this thing spiking up towards 11 short term, maybe 13 or 14 intermediate term. High-tech pharmaceuticals in a beautiful rising channel continues to do so. And the top of the channel up around 44.5 range may be reached short term. Stocks at new multi-year and all-time highs. Strong momentum, strong technicals. I'm looking for the stock to get up into that zone, maybe rest, consolidate, and move higher. AKRX, a beautiful junior biotech that remains on our top 25 list. You can see the intermediate and longer term chart. Long term, I'm looking for a move into the high teens. Intermediate term, mid-teens, but on a short-term basis, I'm looking for a test of this 11.5 area near the top of this channel. Silicon Motion, which was a beautiful swing trade of ours, coming out through here and then again through there, reached my target up in the 1920 zone, backed off, but has held a nice high-level platform, and the last couple of days has moved up 44 cents today. But a move over to 21 zone could get this moving into the 24 area, short-term target. On an intermediate to longer-term basis, I'd look for something in the high 20s. GLNG, Golar LNG, been a favorite of ours since it ran up here and exploded from the high single digits into the 40s, then pulled back in the summer, held this platform, moved up and broke out, and now it's platforming once again on a smaller level here. Support around 37.5, but I'm looking for the stock to make it up through the new highs and then reach the top of the channel up in the mid to high 50s on an intermediate basis, short-term target in the high 40s. Medivation had that huge breakaway gap that we traded in this zone. Since then, it's been setting up a beautiful coil or pennant, and it looks like it's about to come out of it. Keep an eye on this one. It could make a quick run and get up towards the high 40s to low 50s on Medivation. One of my favorite junior oils is Cobalt International Energy. After the big drop in the summer, the stock formed the left shoulder, head, and right shoulder, a nice symmetrical pattern. I'm looking for an eventual move up through 11.5 and a run up into the 15.5 range, my intermediate target, with a longer-term target to set new highs around the high teens. Lastly today, LQDT, one of our swing trade ideas, looks like it's trying to punch through here. This is the resistance line over the last 6-7 weeks, but the long-term chart indicates with momentum the way this one has, it could reach 40-41 shorter term and intermediate term in the mid to high 40s. And those are your charts of the day for today, for Tuesday. Have a good evening.